Alright, this is the first of several dime novel productions we're planning on putting on YouTube that deal strictly with Frank Towsey issues. The name of the company is Dime Novel Hunter. We have our own website, www.imaginationradio@hotmail.com. And what we'll do is we'll show you what's available in there and maybe educate you a little bit about dime novels. We're going to be looking at 5-cent wide-awake libraries this week. They ran from 1878 to about 1898, and a total of 1,437 issues. Issued by Frank Towsey out of New York. Several different types of characters that ran through the whole series. This one's Jack Harkaway. This was a particularly common issue that ran for a long time. They're collectible mostly for the black and white images on the front. This one here is a good example. You've got a nice action type cover in the front, but the rest of it's just text. A lot of the comedic ones that they use, like the Muldoon series, that'll have lithographs all the way through it. Different politically incorrect caricatures of policemen and signs of the time. But for the most part, they are mostly just text. And this one here is Muldoon, 989. What's the date on that? 1890. I'm just going to run through them. As I said, many of these are actually spoken for, but many of them are also available on our website, www.imaginationradio.com. Jack Harkaway again. I'm going to run into a lot of Jack Harkaway going through here. Back's almost always the same. Though, one of the interesting things as I run into a collection like this, there's an issue here that interesting cover and all. As I was looking through it, I got to the back page. Certainly I have a lot to learn about dime novels, but there's an issue I never even knew was issued by Frank Towsey, The Armchair. And since we have a long client list of people tell us what they want, what we're looking for type thing, I've had no one ever ask for that. Never even knew it was there. Do now. Guess we'll be looking for it. Bootblack Bob, number 114. Ned the Bound Boy, 854. Union Dick, Civil War issue, 1179. This is common for the time. Fortunately, not always, but a lot of people would have put their own stamp on there. We actually put our stamp now, the dime novel Hunter. We put that on the inside back cover usually, where it's not hindering anything. Master of Himself, 1269. This is a very long-running story. This was in Wide Awake. It was in Boys of New York. It was in several different other story papers. Always like this one. You had to be skinny to get in that tray, let me tell you. 1279. We're going to go through some of the earlier issues here. These have got anywhere between 58 and 60 pages on them. The average is anywhere between 32 and 40 on the regular ones. But when they first started out, they were a larger format, as you can see, and they were a little larger page-wise. Number 94, the last one was, I'm sorry, 54, the last one was 94. If you have any questions, you can email me at imaginationradio@hotmail.com, and I'll get back to you with what information I can offer you on it. Dick Lightheart, another long-running series of Wide Awake. Another Denver Dan. Had several different stories running in there. And here's one with a stamp again, as I had said. This has a cut off top too. We're in the Bush Rangers, number 180. 1872. Boy, it's a dark cover. It's got some real age spotting on there. Oh, there's actually a stamp up there also. Shorty, he's a very long-running. He always shows up. Peter Pad characters throughout. '71 on deck. Fireman Deck, 1304. Now look at these real quick. We just got this collection in. It's half a collection that we purchased probably 6 months ago, and then we had another 45, 50 issues come in just recently. Jack Harkaway in the Pirates, 163. First edition. 1878. Old Fox, New York Detective. New York Detective wrote for many different venues. Story papers, dime novels, short 5-cent books, 10-cent books. Little Nugget. Lost Yacht. There's a picture you'll see if you start to collect dime novels. They're on their way up. There was a good push for about 10 years before 2007. Then it deteriorated for a while, but now it's on the upswing again. But you'll see that scene throughout the venue. These are all ranging anywhere from, what, 140 years to 120 years old. Paper was different, a lot heavier linen, so that they did hold up a lot better. Evil Eye, Chief of the Comanches. She needs to be looking where she's going. Doesn't look like it's comedic, but Peter Pads, so it is comedic, so it's called Our Landlord. Gorilla George, very popular issue. By putting this on YouTube, it allows you to stop it when you want to, take a closer look at it. That's why I'm going right along with them. And since it's really my first endeavor at this, hopefully I'll get better as the time goes by. That's an early issue. Is it 80? 80. Read The Boys of New York. That's a early story paper. 1879. And though this is not the first dime novel I ever bought, this is actually a copy of the actual first dime novel I ever bought. That was the first one I ever bought and got me interested in it. I just liked the cover. And I thought it was interesting. Picked it up, started reading more about it, got involved. About 27,000 issues at this point. Doesn't say it, but that's a Jack Harper way. Four Top Tom, for you seagoing guys. I'm going to guess four top means somewhere on top of the sales, but I couldn't swear to it. There's a Muldoon issue. Tom Teaser, and there's other Tom Teaser issues. These will probably have other caricatures inside the pages. That must hurt. There's a Denver Dick issue. $141. 1879. As I said, they all start out in 1878. Coral Cave, a little sci-fi looking. The Boy in Red, Czar's Masked Messenger. His Last Cent. Been there, done that. Keeping his word. Another Jack Parkaway. Denver Dan. Somebody's going to get a headache there. Here's one from a No Name is a very well-known character for the Steam Man issues, but earlier he did the Dandy Dan series of Deadwood. Several on this one. The Book Agents, Luck, by Ed. I don't see too many of them. Ed was a big writer in story papers, New York weeklies in particular. Roger Starbuck. Dick Lightheart, another long series. Spridge Hemming, and I always mispronounce it. From Aaron the Boy Lawyer. Now, this next one coming up, unfortunately, is a poor example, but it was part of this. Frank Reed, who's the steam man, steam horse, all sorts of steam ship. He does have many issues in the Wide Awake. There just weren't many in this collection, or maybe it sold off before I got to it. That is a fairly, yeah, that's number 2. Second issue, September 9th, 1878. Another Confederate story. Duval, he was early in the series, 98 through like 107. Usually each story is completed in the paper. The story papers would run on, and you'd have 7 or 8 going in one paper, and then one would end, another one would pick up, so on and so on. What is that? 95. Wide Awake are not something that you find often. I'm lucky I've got a lot of collectors that have asked me to locate things for them, and when they choose to sell, they reach out to us. I'm very lucky that way. This is a special issue. It says special, but that's not just why. It's a special issue. It's number 9, and it's a very thick issue. 92 pages, I believe. Tom Teaser, and there are a lot of caricatures on the inside pages. It's Claude Duval again. For a while, we were seeing a lot of these. Someone took the time to colorize them. You don't run across them very often. I probably run across it a dozen times in the last 12, 15 years. But I don't know if it was something that there was one particular person in the collection started doing them, because I found them in story papers. I found them in bound books. I've never tied it to just one person. Here we go. Here's a duplicate. That's uncommon, even in the earlier issues, to lithographs on them like that. Shody's Married Man and Settled Down. Sequel to all of Shody's stories by Peter Pad. Claude Duval in jail. The Pistol Prince, which first led me to believe maybe Wild Bill Hickok, but that's not who it was. Little nugget. Bob Rolick, the Yankee Notion drummer. Pirate Son. 99, another Claude Duval. Peter Pan. Sort of reminds me of the Disney portraits down there when I took the kids down there. Ball. There's a thick one also, number 68, the Mulligan Boys. Young Captain Drake. And I'll close on this with a very rare issue, Honey Bill's Oath. Well, that's the end of that collection there. Hopefully in the next few weeks or so I can start putting items from the Pluck and Luck. A small collection of Frank Manley's. Got a very large collection of Nick Carter stories. I think we had the whole collection at this point, the whole run, 176 issues maybe. Don't have many of these, I have a few. I believe we probably got 20, 25 Do and Dare. I'll try to get them up. I think we got the same that on the All Sports. Similar on the All Around. Young Broad Brim Weekly. We've got some, maybe 10, 12. These are particularly very nice issues. The only flaw I see with this at all is that there's a paper hang up there on the top. We've got probably 25 or 30 of the James Boys. And I'm not sure how many of these we've got. They're a very uncommon issue. Well, I hope you liked it. Let me know if you did. If you don't, I guess let me know too. Take care.